Hello, survivors, and welcome to the Quarantine Zone. Ellie's character has been somewhat of a mystery for viewers who have never played The Last of Us. We find out early on that she is immune to the cordyceps brain infection, but not much else is known about her origin story. That is until episode 7, which serves almost entirely as a flashback episode. Last night, we got to see what it was like for Ellie in Fedra training school, and her crazy and ultimately tragic night with her best friend Riley at an abandoned mall. Like all the previous episodes, this one is filled with Easter eggs and references to the game, so let's go over them in this video. Left Behind. The title of the episode itself is a direct reference to the DLC of the first game. While Riley has been mentioned before in previous episodes, last night during episode 7, we finally got to see her. Ellie's joke book. Early in the episode, you can see Volume 1 of the classic no pun intended joke book on Ellie's bedside table. In episode 4, we saw Ellie take out no pun intended Volume 2 from her backpack and try to use its jokes on Joel. But it was last night that we found out that she received Volume 2 as a gift from Riley. We now know why the book remains a treasured possession for Ellie. Savage Starlight comic. While sitting on her bed, we see Ellie reading a comic book. You guessed it, it's none other than Savage Starlight. And this isn't the first time that this comic has appeared in the HBO adaptation. During episode 5, when Joel, Ellie, Henry, and Sam are making their way through the underground tunnels trying to escape Kansas City, we see an abandoned room that was previously being used as a children's playroom. It was in this room that Sam discovered an issue of Savage Starlight. Ellie's wall is adorned with space posters. In Ellie's room, we see her wall plastered with posters. There are a few movie ones like Red Planet and Inner Space, but most of them are space-themed, including one that is a breakdown of the lunar phases of the moon. This takes us back to episode 6, where Joel and Ellie are talking about what they might do once all of this is over. Joel shares his desire to own a sheep farm. Ellie, on the other hand, looks up when he asks where she'd like to go. "It's probably because I grew up in the QZ," she says. "Behind you, there's an ocean. Ahead of you, there's a wall. There is nowhere to look but up. I read everything I could in the school library. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Jim Lovell. But you know who my favorite is? Sally Ride, best astronaut name ever." Ellie is obviously a huge space fan, but the shot in her room shows how big of a fan she is. Mortal Kombat 2 poster. Also in her room, we see Ellie has a poster of the smash hit video game Mortal Kombat 2. Ellie previously expressed her love for the game in episode 3 when she discovered the MK2 arcade game. "You ever played this one?" Ellie asks Joel. "I had a friend who knew everything about this game. There's this one character named Melina who takes off her mask and she has monster teeth and then she swallows you whole and barfs out your bones." We finally see that happen in episode 7. Ellie's Walkman. During the Lakeside Resort chapter of the game, while Joel is unconscious, players take control as Ellie as she attempts to find him medicine. Among the other artifacts that Ellie has on her is the Sony Walkman seen in episode 7. Naughty Dog logo. When Ellie gets in trouble and gets sent to Captain Kwong's office, we see him toss his keys on his desk in front of Ellie. If you looked quickly at the keychain, then you spotted the red paw print. It's the same one featured in the Naughty Dog logo. Naughty Dog is the developer of both The Last of Us games, and Neil Druckmann is co-president of the company, as well as one of the show's creators and showrunners. Dawn of the Wolf sequel poster. In the mall, we see a poster for the Dawn of the Wolf sequel. In the game, players can see numerous posters for the fictional movie, including one in Sarah's bedroom at the start of The Last of Us, Part 1. Wolf and Clown Mask. Ellie and Riley enter a Halloween store called Spooky Town in the Left Behind DLC. Riley frightens Ellie with the clown mask and encourages Ellie to put on the wolf mask and roar loudly. In episode 7, we see them wearing the exact same masks. Macho Nacho Mexican restaurant. While walking through the food court in the mall, Riley takes Ellie to a Taco Bell ripoff called Macho Nacho. Not only was this restaurant first seen in the Left Behind DLC, but it was also later referenced in another Naughty Dog video game, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. During one of the game's optional conversations, Elena tells Drake about her first job, which happened to be at a Macho Nacho. American Princess Doll Store. The show zooms in on an abandoned American Girl store. In the Left Behind DLC, Ellie enters the store in search of medication for Joel, who was incapacitated at the time. She sees a similar infected in the store that was holding the pharmacy key that she needed, but he has been long dead. In the TV show, we saw that this infected is the one that ended up biting Ellie and Riley. Remember, knowledge is power, and staying informed is key to survival in today's world. Hit that subscribe button and join me on this journey again soon. Until then, stay vigilant, stay curious, and take care of one another. This is your friend, Josh White, signing off for now. See you in the next video.